Bro, someone has to say it, man. This is a full-on rant, but Monday Night Raw is bad television, dog. Tonight's episode was complete and utter garbage outside of two moments. We started off with CM Punk and Rollins cutting a promo, which honestly, Seth Rollins did a great job, and this was a very, very, very good promo, man. It was exciting, it was intense. They did a great job with this, and it set up what's probably going to be a triple threat between Drew, Seth, and Punk at some point down the line. So yes, pretty cool segment, no problems here. But then after this moment in Raw, you get straight and unadulterated content the rest of the show. That's all it is. You get Pete Dunne versus Bronson Reed. The crowd was just about as silent as your local library, bro. No one cares about this match. It wasn't even that good. The in-ring work was mediocre at best. And then afterwards, Sheamus comes out like nobody cares, man. Let's be honest here, dude. This is trash. Nobody cares about this. Then you got Sami Zayn going out there and talking to Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker spears him again. And then Ilya Dragunov, his behind comes out there later and he sets up a match with Braun, which he ultimately wins by disqualification later on in the show. He and Sami get beat up. Let me guess, we're going to get a triple threat so Sami can win again. Yeah! Like, no, man. Come on, bro. It's the same content, dude. It's boring. It's mid. No story progresses at all in this episode. Then on top of that, another thing that happens in this show, another piece of content, you had The Miz and R-Truth and old man Braun Strowman who can't move anymore. He can't jump over a curb. This dude's still out there walking around super fast because he can't run, and they're fighting Finn Balor, JD, and Carlito. Why is Carlito even out there? I don't know. But that match was absolutely mid. It was pointless. It brought nothing to the table, and it furthered nothing. Again, that's what this show is. And then you get Damian Priest. Damian Priest cuts one of the worst promos that I have ever seen in my life. He cuts one of those video promos and it goes like, hey, I'm Damian Priest. I'm the world champion. I'm El Campeon. You see this title? The nameplate says Damian Priest, so I'm the world champion. Like, how do you have a bad video promo? You have an infinite amount of takes you can do. They can edit it however you want, and you still cut a bad and a meaningless promo, bro. Damian Priest will never be believable as a world champion because he's a glorified mid-carder at best. You cannot get a world championship if you cannot speak on the mic and if you can't tell a story. And he can't do either of those things. Is he a good in-ring wrestler? Yeah, I'd say he's a good in-ring wrestler. I don't think he's amazing, but he's pretty good. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You're not believable. You're going up against Gunther, who's a phenomenal wrestler and is at least improving on the mic. Damian Priest has stayed the same way on the mic for months, for years. So it's embarrassing. And then later on in the show, we get another segment with Uncle Howdy and the Bo Dallas stuff. Me personally, I'm getting annoyed at this. It's repetitive. It's not furthering anything whatsoever. Chad Gable and Jey Uso, a content match. Nothing matters here. And then finally we got to the Rhea Ripley return near the end of the show. Yes, Rhea Ripley returning is great. I'm glad to see it. But again, in terms of in this episode, what they did with Liv and Dom and the Judgment Day and Ray and all this stuff, it's repetitive nonsense. Maybe now Rhea Ripley can actually help the story advance, because so far the story has been mid and repetitive garbage. Liv Morgan stretching out Dom backstage. Like, what am I supposed to say to this, man? Am I supposed to laugh? No, it's corny. Nobody cares anymore, man. It's mid. And then on top of that, another problem I have with these shows, why in the world are the backstage segments so bad? They're so bad. It's the same repetitive stuff in every segment. Kathy Kelly, the most generic name in the book. It's like having a name called John Bobby, and she goes back there and asks the same questions to every single person backstage. It was a mediocre episode of Raw at best, and I'm surprised that they still went through with this, man. Damage Control had a match too, great. Karrion Kross had a segment, great. Nobody cares about that but his wife Scarlett. No one watches that segment, nobody cares about that segment. Karrion Kross is a dead character. He's probably better off in AEW or New Japan, bro. Like, goodness gracious, man. Terrible episode of Raw, but I guess I can't call it terrible. Maybe it's mid because it had a good opening and a good ending. But geez, dude, everything in between is just filler garbage. It's so mid, man. Gosh, let me know what you thought of Raw, but I just had to rant, bro. This episode to me was honestly pretty bad, just like all the other Raws recently.